Let's be honest for a second. Buying a motorcycle is exciting, but it's also scary, really scary. The problem is that 99% of the things you worry about are nonsense. They're ghosts that don't exist. That's why today on Moto Sin Filtros, we're going to exorcise those demons once and for all. We're going to go over the 9 most common motorcycle fears you should never worry about. Let's start. Fear number 9. Fear of stalling in public and looking like a beginner. We've all had this nightmare. You're at a red light. It's a busy intersection. You're first in line. Behind you is a delivery van, and behind that a bus full of people watching. The light turns green. You get nervous. You release the clutch too fast, and the bike lurches, coughs, and dies. Silence. And then the honking starts. Here's a secret that veteran riders don't tell you. Everyone stalls. Marc Marquez has stalled. Valentino Rossi has stalled. That guy on a custom bike who looks like he stepped out of a movie and eats nails for breakfast stalled 3 blocks ago too. Stalling isn't a sign of weakness. It's just physics. You let the clutch out too fast, and the engine said it didn't feel like it. Beginners treat a stall like a nuclear accident. They panic. They start flailing their legs like ducks trying to take off. Try to start the bike without putting it in neutral or without pulling the clutch, and end up sweating inside their helmet like they're in a sauna. Stop it. If you stall, here's what you do. Pull the clutch, hit the start button, and go. Period. It takes you a second. The lady in the van hasn't even looked up from her phone. She doesn't know you stalled. She thinks you are making a dramatic pause like in the movies. You're not a race car driver. You don't need to live life a quarter mile at a time every time. You just need to ease the clutch out smoothly. This fear is pure ego. It's social anxiety wrapped in leather. No one cares. And if they honk, let them honk. They're trapped in a tin can, and you're on a bike. You've already won the game of life. Fear. Number 8. Fear of not knowing how to greet other riders properly. Oh, the social anxiety, the pressure, the drama. You're going down the road and you see another bike approaching. Your heart rate spikes. Do I wave first or wait for them to wave? What if I wave and they don't wave back and leave me with my hand out like an idiot? What if I do the low wave but they do the high wave and I look like a weirdo? What if they're on a scooter? Do you wave to scooter riders? Is there a manual for this? Let me simplify it for you. The wave between riders is a beautiful tradition. It's a gesture of solidarity that says, hey, we're both exposed to the elements and dodging drivers looking at their phones. I respect you. But beginners overthink it like crazy. They think if they don't wave to someone, the motorcycle police will come and take their license. They think if a guy on a Harley doesn't wave to their sport bike, it's a declaration of war. The truth is, no one cares how you wave. Sometimes people don't wave back because they didn't see you, because they're shifting gears, because they're gripping the handlebars, because a wasp got in their helmet and is stinging them in the eye. It's not against you.
No va contra ti,
It's not
no
a
es una
scene
escena
from
de
a high
una
school
película de
movie.
instituto.
And please, don't overthink the style of the wave. You don't need to do some secret street gang sign. Just lower your left hand with 2 fingers extended towards the asphalt, and that's it. You've already looked like a pro. If you're in the middle of a corner, don't wave. Keep your hands on the bars. If you're braking, don't wave. Control the bike. Safety comes before road etiquette. And if you wave and they don't wave back, so what? You're out there enjoying yourself, and they seem to be bitter. Their problem. Shake it off like you're Taylor Swift and keep riding. Fear number 7. Fear of rain, and the bike sliding or breaking down. You're looking at the weather forecast, and it says a 20% chance of rain. You panic, cancel the ride, put the bike in the garage,
Y la
and
envuelves
wrap
en
it in
plástico de
bubble wrap.
burbujas.
Beginners seem to believe that motorcycles are made of sugar and will melt the moment they touch a drop of water. They think that if a single drop hits the tire, they'll go flying like in a video game when you step on a banana peel. The reality is that your bike is waterproof. It's fine. It can be out in the rain. It can ride in the rain. You can pressure wash it. It's a machine. It's not a gremlin. You don't need to worry about feeding it after midnight or getting it wet. And you are also waterproof. Your skin doesn't let water in. And if you're wearing the right gear, the water doesn't reach you. Riding in the rain isn't a death sentence. In fact, it can even be zen. The biggest fear is grip, thinking that wet pavement is like an ice rink and you have zero traction. And that's a lie. Modern tires are marvels of chemical engineering. They have silica compounds and tread patterns designed to channel water away, like Moses parting the Red Sea. Unless you're going to drag your knee in the middle of a corner like you're qualifying for MotoGP, your tires have plenty of grip in the wet. That said, avoid painted lines, avoid metal manhole covers. Those are slippery, but the asphalt itself holds up well. Ride smooth. Be gentle. Imagine you're carrying your grandmother on the back seat with a pot of hot soup. If you ride smooth, you stay upright. Don't let a little water ruin your plans. Some of the best rides happen when the weather isn't perfect and you feel like a true adventurer. Fear number 6. Fear of wind and being blown out of your lane. You get on the highway for the first time, you hit 60 miles per hour, and suddenly you feel it. A gust of wind hits your chest, your helmet vibrates, you feel the bike move a little sideways, and your brain starts screaming that you're going to fall, that you're a plastic bag in the middle of a hurricane. This is purely a matter of sensation. When you're in a car, you're in an isolated bubble. You could go through a cyclone and barely notice. But on a bike, you're out in the elements, and you feel every gust of wind. Beginners grip the handlebars with all their might, tense their arms, lock their shoulders, and of course, that makes everything worse because when you tense up, you become a rigid sail. The wind hits you, and being so stiff, you transmit all that energy directly to the handlebars. You're literally steering where you don't want to go. The solution is simple, even if it seems contradictory. Relax. Flap your elbows like a chicken. If you can wiggle your elbows, it means your arms are loose. Let the bike move under you. The bike is a big gyroscope. The spinning wheels want to stay upright. The bike wants to go straight. It's fighting on your side. The wind might push you a few inches within your lane, and so what? You have a whole lane to yourself. Let it move. Correct gently. Don't fight it. Be like water. You're not going to fall. You and the bike weigh 800 pounds. A breeze isn't going to beat physics. Fear number 5. Fear of the bike breaking down and leaving you stranded. You've seen the movies where the hero's bike breaks down in the middle of the desert. Vultures start circling, and he has to fix the carburetor with a paperclip and a piece of gum. Beginners are terrified, thinking their bike is a house of cards that will explode if they look at it wrong. They think they need to be master mechanics just to own a bike, that they have to carry a full workshop with them on every ride. Let's get real. Modern motorcycles are practically indestructible. If you have a bike from the last 20 years, especially if it's Japanese or modern European, it's a marvel of reliability. Electronic fuel injection works. Liquid cooling keeps it happy. Modern metallurgy makes engines last hundreds of thousands of miles. This isn't 1970. You're not riding an old British bike that leaks oil by design and loosens its own bolts every Tuesday. You're on a Honda, a Yamaha, a Kawasaki. Things built like appliances. Turn the key, press the button, and go. You don't need to be Tony Stark. You don't need to build an arc reactor in a cave with a box of scraps. You just need to do 2 things. Lubricate the chain every now and then, and check your tire pressure. That's 90% of motorcycle maintenance. If you know how to put air in a tire and spray some lube on a chain, you're qualified. Stop worrying about the engine exploding. It won't. It wants to run. It loves you. These first 5 fears are the most everyday ones, the ones that assault you on every ride and make you doubt. They're beginners' fears that with time and practice disappear on their own. But the ones that follow are deeper. They touch the nerve of pride and self-esteem, and they are the ones that can really ruin a day out if you don't control them. Fear number 4. Fear of dropping the bike during a slow maneuver or when parking. This is the big fear, the shame, the humiliation. You're pulling into a parking lot at a cafe. People are watching. You turn the handlebars, grab the front brake, and the bike starts to fall in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, and down. Beginners treat their bikes as if they were made of glass. They think a drop is a total failure, that it destroys the bike forever, and that everyone will laugh at them like in a cartoon. The truth that will set you free is that everyone drops their bike at some point. Everyone. If a rider tells you they've never dropped their bike, they're either lying, or they've only had their license for 10 minutes, or they have a bike they never use. It happens. There's gravel, there are wet leaves. You put your foot in a hole by accident, You forget to put the side stand down. And that one is the funniest of all. It's a rite of passage. It's not a tragedy, it's a comedy. How do you stop worrying about this? First, put crash protectors on the bike. For $100, you get sliders that absorb the impact. Then, if you drop it, you pick it up, dust it off, and carry on. No damage, no problem. Second, learn to pick it up correctly, using your legs and butt, not your back. And third, laugh. If you drop it, take a bow. Own the situation. If you act like it's funny, it's funny. If you act like you're devastated, it's awkward. Your bike is a tool. It's a machine. It's meant to be used. Scratches give it character. They're war wounds. Wear them with pride. Fear number 3. Fear of getting lost and not finding your way back. You have the phone mount. You have the GPS. You carry a paper map as a backup. You've memorized the route, because if you miss a turn, if you deviate from the planned path, it's a disaster. In the car world, getting lost is a pain. You're late for work. You get stuck in traffic, it sucks. In the motorcycle world, getting lost is the goal. Not all those who wander are lost. That guy from Lord of the Rings knew what he was talking about. He was probably a rider, a wizard-class rider. When you're on a bike, wrong turns are bonus miles. Some of the best roads I've ever found in my life were because I missed my exit. Some of the best tacos I've ever eaten were at random stalls I found because my GPS died. Stop being a slave to the blue line on Google Maps. Turn it off sometimes. If you have a full tank and a credit card, you're never really lost. You're just exploring. The world isn't that big. Eventually, you'll always hit a highway or the ocean. Embrace the detour. That's where adventure lives. You're not delivering pizzas. You're on a motorcycle. The destination is irrelevant. The road is the goal. Fear number 2. Fear of running out of gas in the middle of nowhere. You look at your bike's fuel tank and it seems tiny. It only holds 3 or 4 gallons while your dad's car holds 15. You think you'll run out every 10 minutes? That you'll end up in the middle of the desert like Mad Max fighting for fuel. Beginners suffer more range anxiety than electric car owners. They fill up every 30 miles out of pure paranoia. The reality is that even a thirsty sport bike usually gets between 150 and 200 miles on a tank. A trail bike or a custom can get 300 or more. Do you know what 200 miles on a bike is? It's like 2 or 3 hours of straight riding. Do you know what happens after 2 or 3 hours? Your bladder is full, your legs ache, you feel like a coffee and a candy bar. You're going to want to stop long before the bike needs to stop. The bike has more endurance than you do. Besides, most modern bikes have a fuel gauge, and if they don't, they have a reserve light, and if they don't have that, they have a manual reserve tap. You have warnings, you have systems. Unless you're crossing the Sahara, there's a gas station within 15 miles. Trust the machine. Learn how long your tank lasts. Reset the trip meter every time you fill up. It's the rider's best friend. And relax, you're not going to end up walking. Fear number 1. Fear of traffic and other drivers killing you. This is the big one. The fear that stops people from buying a bike. The fear your mother talks about when she sees you with your helmet. You think all cars are heat-seeking missiles programmed to destroy you. That every intersection is a death trap. That riding a bike is basically playing Russian roulette with all the bullets in the chamber. Is riding a motorcycle dangerous? Yes. I'm not going to lie to you. Is it a death sentence? No. Here's the secret. You have the control. Fear makes you rigid. Fear makes you hesitate. Fear makes you an easy target. The way to overcome this fear isn't with hope, it's with strategy. You're not a passenger. You're an active participant. You assume they haven't seen you. You assume that guy is going to turn left without his blinker. You assume that lady is looking at her phone, and because you assume it, you're ready for when it happens. You position yourself in the lane where you're most visible. You cover the brakes. You look at the car's wheels, not the driver's faces. When you ride with a safety mindset, you don't have fear, you're alert. There's a big difference. Fear paralyzes. Being alert empowers. You feel like Spider-Man with his spider sense tingling. You see things before they happen. And the more you ride, the better you get at it. You develop a sixth sense for traffic. You know that car is going to change lanes before the driver knows they're going to change lanes. Don't live in fear of cars. Respect them, yes. Fear them? No. You're smaller, you're faster, you're more agile. You have the advantage. Use it. So stop worrying, stop overthinking, get out there, get on your bike, and go make mistakes. Because a bad day on a bike is still better than a good day in an office. What fears did you have when you started riding? Have you ever dropped your bike in front of a bunch of people? Be honest. Leave it in the comments. And if you like this group therapy session, do me a favor. Hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next ones. See you next time. Keep the wheels on the asphalt and fear neither the rain nor what people will say.